on Zoom as well. Let's start out with bucket fills. You guys, it's a new year. What's good? What's happening? What's fun? Who wants to start? Guys, it's a new year.
Thank you for putting out the job fair email. My oldest daughter.
She signed up. I saw it come in last night.
We have a family team here, so she's excited. So thank you. Yeah, because I was going to call you and figure out what I needed to do to get you guys connected, and then that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw her sign up last night. I was like, another welly. Super fun, super fun. Which, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, is it in the slides, the job fair? On the calendar, we are having a job fair on the 27th. Our teams are going to be here, also our PC. So if you know someone that is struggling in real estate right now that's not with us, or someone that wants to get into real estate, have them sign up for it. So take a look at that on the calendar when we go through that. All right, what else is good? What other bucket fills do we got?
Bucket fill my wife for making it 51 weeks with me so far.
I do like how you know it's 51 and not sure if it's going to make it to 52 or what. What, Scott? I think she's hanging around.
Your first Christmas with your grandkids too.
Yes. Oh, how was that?
Good. Lots of
We
kids.
wish they lived closer. They're all the way up.
Talk to Heather about that one.
Japan.
Oh,
That's where my grandbaby lives.
Yeah, her grandbaby lives in Japan.
Yeah, just a little.
All right, two more bucket fills.
I would like to bucket fill the rest of the leadership team because my grandbaby and my son and his wife were here the entire month of December, which was great, but they really helped out. Everyone helped out around this office for me to be able to spend so much time with my family.
I would say it was mainly Lydia and Candy,
Yeah.
but not necessarily as much me. So it's more than
I couldn't have done it. I wouldn't have been able to spend so much time, and they kind of surprised me. So I maybe wouldn't have given them the dates that they came, because it's a busy time at the office for me, but we made it all work and they were amazing, and just, I couldn't have done it without them. So it was incredible.
awesome.
I want to bucket fill the people on Zoom that have their cameras on. This is great. A couple more would be awesome, but it's nice to see some faces up there. So thank you.
Awesome.
I have one.
Well, once you break the ice, it's just like it really takes some time for people to go.
Yeah, I'll bucket fill Candy for allowing Abra Kadabra and my son come to present today at the meeting here today.
Awesome. Also, I want to bucket fill Candy over here because if you got an email, I don't know, the last month on anything, she has been working super hard, number one, to make sure that you don't lose your license. She even like beta tested how many emails you get if you don't pay. I told her she could have just asked me because I usually wait till the last minute. But also we have CE that you could legitimately almost be done with your CE credits if you took the CE in the fall, this month. Like she has helped kind of coordinate really great free CE for everybody. And right here in the market center. So, it doesn't just happen. She's worked really hard on doing that. So whenever you decide to ignore one of her emails or get frustrated, just take a look in the mirror because the likely reason she's emailing is because you didn't do something. So do not take it out on her. So thank you, Candy. Wendy, I see you have your hand up.
I wanted to thank everybody who contributed to Paige and Julie getting to move back home and sent some things to help them. It's not too late. I'll repost it in our Facebook group because they still have a lot of stuff. It was a huge undertaking, and to do it 2 days before Christmas was pretty ambitious. Everything isn't done yet, but they are in their house and so happy to be there. So thank you to everyone who contributed.
Awesome. Yeah, send that back out. That would be great. Thanks, Wendy. Okay, moving on, we got some announcements before the ALC meeting. This is our January training calendar. We took a really hard look at the things that we put on the calendar for this new year. It is jam-packed with great information. And honestly, if you're not going to these trainings, you are missing out. So Matrix 101 is, again, there's going to be topics going around North Star and the MLS. That's going to be taught. So if you are like, oh, I've been in this for a long time, but I still don't know how to do some reports, which I can guarantee are most of you, because the only things that we normally do are CMAs. We don't look at all the other reports. This is a great class to come into. We do have our commercial meetings, again, always on that second week in the mornings. I think it's at 8 a.m. We've got our free CE here on the 14th and on the 15th. We sent out an email to sign up for that, so sign up before you show up for those classes. We are closed on Monday the 19th, and then on the 20th, we have the required module. Everyone needs to take this. So if you have not taken it, this is a great time. We're not having a team meeting that day. In replacement of that, we are going to have the required module free because Supreme, which I don't see them in here, made sure that you don't have to pay for that. Then we have our R&R that same day. I don't know if we know where that is yet, but we'll have that out. We do have free CE on the 21st, and then we have our monthly book club. So our book this month is Think Like a Monk. The reason that we are doing that is because Jay Shetty is actually going to be at family reunion. So it'll just be a really good idea for you guys to read that. And you'll be discussing, I don't know if we sent out page numbers on that or not, because we're going to do one each quarter, correct? But we'll send out the page numbers where you need to be up to so that it can be more of a discussion during that book club. We do also have a luxury event on the 15th. So anyone that wants to go to that, that's going to be off site. And I believe there is actually, is there a slide in here for that? Right here. So it's going to be 5875 Afton Road. This is something that's already under contract, but it's going to allow us to talk about the luxury market, ask some questions in regards to building, new construction. So RSVP here so we know who's all going to this, because there will be some light appetizers and wine, I believe, at that event. I'm going to take a second for you guys to scan any of the things that you're not in. We can kind of go back to those.
It's been sent out.
That hasn't.
It's on the calendar.
This
That was
hasn't been sent out in an email yet, but we can shoot that out today as well in our like notes from the meeting. And this is any brokerage. So if you have people from other brokerages that are doing luxury events or want to get into luxury, feel free to shoot this out to them so that they can come to that event as well. Okay.
Jamie, on that required module on the 20th, I'm out of town that week. Is that something that Candy, that we'll be able to do that again? Or is that something that if we did it last year, you want to tell us more?
We'll have to look at the portal to see. I think it's different than last year's, just to make sure. Look at your portal, see if it's there. Otherwise, you can do it for free as well online. I would tell you that if you are a non-patient person, it's a great exercise to become patient when you do it online, because they don't allow you to click forward until it's a timed period of whatever. Which I may know this because I did it online.
And what is that one? Just so I understand.
I have a QR code for you, Jason.
Perfect.
It is
Thank
right
you.
here. So
Awesome.
you can actually take the required module for free as well. You do have to sign in as your member, which is your NERDS number, through the Minnesota Realtors Association. There's a QR code that'll take you right to their education page right there. I also want to say, I was asked the other day, and so this required module this year does not include, sometimes it's like, it also includes fair housing and agency, and this year it doesn't. So you do have to find those somewhere else, unfortunately. So those one extra, hours of those are not included. Sometimes they are in the required module. This year they are not. There is a fair housing like 2 CE that's also free through the Minnesota Realtors Association. I am taking it right now, and yeah, Kami is speaking truth here, because it is like you have to sit on that page for so many minutes before it lets you click to the next page, even if you've read it and whatever. It does actually take you the 2 hours. So, but yes, that is an option. And the QR code's right on there. So as long as you sign in with your NERDS number, it's free for members.
Okay, here are all of the. What is going on? Oh, I don't know.
Really?
I
I
don't.
Did it even happen?
Bumped onto our Zoom and started like. I don't know what's happening. This has happened before, like different Zoom links. We did not actually scribble on these. So John,
Heather's
I love
giving me
you,
some.
Heather. Whatever is going on here is not like anything that we did. So these are all the people that are going to family reunion so far. You can still sign up. We just talked about how fun and amazing it's going to be. The lineup is super cool. I highly recommend going. Like, if you have never been to one of these events, like, and I know that there is a cost to it, right? There's like a, oh man, that's a lot. However, again, if you want a roommate or find someone, we have options for that people are wanting that. And once you sign up, there's actually discounted prices with some airlines as well as the hotels. So at least go in, take a look at it if you're interested. It's February 21st and 24th. I don't know. I can't say enough about it in regards to going to that. We were just in our top 10% mastermind, and you know, a few people were like, I just need to get that energy again, and are really excited about it. So if you need that as well, come with us. In Atlanta. Okay, these are the required modules. Do you want me to keep these up for a second so you guys can sign up? Okay, scan these. So this is the required module in person. This is the free CE with custom 1 on the 21st. So 1 credit, 3.75.
There we go.
Oh, there's one on top. And then the ChatGPT, also 2 credits for that one. Okay. Here's the Minnesota Housing CE. This one is 1 hour and then 1 hour as well for home warranty, a deep dive. Where are these? These are all here. And then this will all be sent out in an email again today as well. All right, moving on. We did this one already. Good. Okay, this is not something that we are necessarily sponsoring. However, Roseville and I believe it's Maple Grove and Minneapolis. They need, we're looking for more people to go to this particular class. It is Sales Rocket. It's part of Jeff Glover. It is a 6-week class. You have to be in person at the Roseville Market Center to attend. I believe it's $7.95 for the class. The things I would just click on here to go in and take a look at it. It essentially takes you through your entire business in those 6 weeks. It gives you listing presentations. It gives you buyer presentations. It gives you scripts. It is very different. I think people are gonna be like, "Oh, is it like bold?" Absolutely not. It's very different than that, and it's very hands-on. I've been to this before. It's an amazing training. So if you're looking to say, okay, I need to just like up the ante with my business a little bit, and I'm willing to donate a day a week for 6 weeks, highly recommend it. Again, this is something that is happening with other KW market centers that are providing this for us. So if you're interested, let us know. Otherwise, just go ahead and register. Questions around that? Okay. Okay, so we decided as part of our goals, so today is our ALC meeting. You'll hear what our market center goals are. You're going to hear what our ALC members' goals are. One of our goals is to have a charity a month. You might ask why, right? Number one, we want to be incorporated with the community a lot more because, you know, the industry we work in is essentially building communities with housing. And number two, we had so many inquiries last year around, hey, can we support this charity? Hey, this is really near and dear to my heart. More than what you would think came to us. And we were like, we can't do all of these. Like, we can't support all of these. So this year we've made it part of our plan and our GPS to do one a month. Shockingly, we have not gotten any requests on anyone's charities for any of the months. However, we still have it here. So we started out with our KW Cares Local Fund. Our KW Cares Local Fund is a fund that allows us to give back to an agent in a time of need, which we actually use this in our market center, which actually we use this more often than you might think, right? Different things come up in your life. And there are financial things that you will need that we provide that to you as a market center that's voted on by the ALC. Right now, our local fund is at about 15,000. What we wanted to get to was 20,000 by the end of the month. And you're like, why? Why? Because when someone has a house fire, we can just write a check from this fund to them to go buy socks and underwear and things that you don't think about that they didn't have the moment their house burned down, right? And it gives us that ability to do that and help someone out. So that being said, I'm gonna ask Heather how you want this done. Our goal is 5,000. That does not mean that you know, have to do it all in one time period. You can also do it from closings. So Heather, I'll let you take it away on that piece on how to get you that money.
This link will bring you to a Google form. You can complete that Google form and then I will put that on your monthly invoice this month. So that would be great. Go ahead and just, you can go ahead and complete the Google form, how much you want to donate, and then I will go ahead and add that to your monthly invoice this month. You could also just email and let me know if you want to take so much money out of your next closing, and I would be happy to do that too. You can email myself or Lydia, and we can go ahead and take it out of your next closing. At this point, those are the two ways that we are set for that we can get those donations. You could also always bring a check in. You know, feel free to bring in a check and made out to KW, and I would go ahead and deposit that into our local fund.
I mean, what's our agent count right now?
Yes.
Our agent count?
Yeah.
144.
Like $35 an agent. Gets us there.
And you can always
Dollar a
donate
day.
to this, right? Like with every.
You can donate this to this all year long, right? And I think sometimes we think about if something happens and you're the primary breadwinner of your household and it's real estate and you get taken out of that for some reason or something large happens, because if I know better than anybody as I coach agents all the time, we don't always have a fund. If something happens, sometimes we're like check to check, or sometimes we're like, ooh, we had a really good year, so I'm going to back down, or such and such, right? So there are times that this is really, really important for us to be able to give back to the agents in this office, like very, very important. And it doesn't come out just randomly, right? Us as a leadership team vote on, hey, this is how much we're going to give, and we feel like this is something that we really need to do right now for this particular person. Any other questions on this?
I would just encourage people that you don't feel it. If you did even $5 to $10 per transaction, you really don't notice it.
Nope.
And on, like, when you complete your commissions tab, I know you all notice that it asks if you want to donate to Next Gen or KW Cares. That is not this fund. This is our local fund. We cannot add our local fund onto the commissions tab, but you could either write a note in the commissions tab that said, hey, take out $20, $50 and put it towards our local fund, or you could send us an email. And we could also set that up to happen automatically on every closing. Could we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some agents that just say on every one of my checks, take out $25.
And put it towards the KW Cares local fund. It's just you cannot do it through that commissions tab, but you can add a note on there and we could do that on any one of your closings.
Whether it's a 501c3 as well.
Oh, it's on the next slide. What it is. Yeah, there's a 501.
One thing.
Get a tax.
Oh, it is.
I don't think it is either.
Oh, I didn't do this one.
I'm sorry. I don't.
I was double checking.
No, it is not. It is. For sure it is. Sorry, I didn't see that. I'm
From the
sorry.
real estate
I always
section.
catch
I apologize.
I know, I do notice you do.
Okay, so
And I like walk.
this is actually something really important for us to get you to tell us which charity you want for us to do each month. And we want to do that so that we can actually plan for it. So we don't have one for February or March right now. We want to be able to really bring an impact to these charities, right? We don't want you just to randomly throw it in and then be like, okay, we're going to just raise money. No, we'd love to do walks. We'd love to do whatever we can. So part of that is we want to create an impact in all of the communities. So we're doing design a t-shirt for any of the walks that we do this year for any of the charities. When we do Red Day, we're going to wear the same t-shirt. And we want it to be done by a kid. The kid can be 17, it needs to be under 18, right? But we want you to also to have an opportunity to reach out to your clients in your sphere. We would love to have you send this out to your database on Instagram, wherever it is, and have kids submit their drawing to put on this t-shirt. So it will be, Keller Williams Lake Minnetonka for a cause. Will be the t-shirt, and then whatever drawing that the ALC votes on to put on this t-shirt, we'll have these made and ready for purchase. So again, we're just trying to create, not us just doing this random shirt, but bringing, people that into it. Plus, how cool is it? I know when my kids were little and their artwork got picked for something, they thought that they were the most amazing thing ever. And you're going to have hundreds of agents wearing this shirt. So again, this is one where you just share it. And then they're going to submit their drawings by January 30th. And then we will vote on that on the ALC meeting in February of which design that is. And then we'll have those shirts made. Do you guys have questions around that? Who's going to participate in doing this?
Can I just ask a quick question? So the t-shirt is promoting our KW Cares local fund?
Nope, it's a t-shirt we'll wear all year round, and we're going to wear it at any cause. So it'll be KW Lake Minnetonka for a cause, right? So in regards to how to promote the drawing, it's essentially giving back to your community or care or anything in that way is what we would want drawn.
Got it. Thank you.
Does that make sense, Wendy?
We do this and send it out to the.
Okay, any other questions? Because if I have to do a drawing, it's not going to be pretty. So we need submissions. All right, next. Oh, awesome. All right, so if you haven't ever been here at the ALC meeting, so it's our Agent Leadership Council. They were asked to submit a questionnaire, and then we did an interview, and it is their part of the top 20% of our office. They help make decisions in the office, as well as set a standard and a culture. This meeting is done once a month. They open up their books to you. This time in January, we're sharing our goals, but then as we go into February, they're going to tell you where they're at on those, what their wins, what their losses are, what their profit is. I mean, they are truly opening up everything to you, which can be incredibly nerve-wracking to do, because I think a lot of us kind of hide behind non-numbers, but a feeling, and we go through numbers in this meeting. So do I hear a motion to start the January 2026 ALC meeting? Awesome. What we're going to start with is let's have each person introduce yourselves first, and then we'll kind of go through numbers. Who you are, how long you've been in the business, do you run a team, what does that team look like, and maybe your number one lead gen source.
My name's Jacob Milton. I've got 4 agents on my team, full-time assistant. Been in the business since 2015, so about 11 years now. Number one lead source, either been calling or one of my lending partners sends me a lot of business.
Okay.
Bethany Nelson. I will have my 15th anniversary of being licensed this year. I have a team of 5 agents, 1 full-time director of operations in-house, 2 virtual assistants, and now an in-house stager. And our number one lead source is for sure our sphere of influence.
Awesome.
Sherry Welly. I have a team with just my daughter and I. And and I would say my biggest lead generation is a sphere.
I'm Roy Sturman. I'm the single commercial agent here. I've been in the business since 2014 as well. I'm a solo agent and I have a VA. I would say my biggest gen source is referrals from past clients, then followed by direct dials or cold calls.
Awesome. How about we start just go through our goals. Don't need to really say where we're at right now since it's week 2. But part of what our goals are, we track each month, each week. So they're going to go through dials, contacts, appointments, contracts written. So something that's pending, closed units, their GCI. Some of them have revenue, some of them don't. And that's if they want to track that or not. It could be a rental property. It could be profit share, whatever they want to do on that piece. And then they're also going through their profit. So this month you'll see their goals on that. And then months moving forward, we'll do their goal, as well as where their actual is. Who wants to start with that?
Can I ask a question before you start?
Yeah.
Because I want to understand, because this is really helpful. But when you guys talk about your profit, do you include your distribution pay for yourself?
Mine is after I pay myself.
Profit is after distribution, and you have the set distribution same every single month for yourself?
No, I used to run it that way. I used to run everything top line revenue of my own commission. And I made the change 3 years ago.
Time out for a second. Can you explain what you're talking about? Because people are like, what are you talking about? If they're like a solo agent or whatnot, or how they run their business. Because, right, we have different ways to run our business. LLC, S Corp. No, this is great. This is because I think when you see profit margins, they're going to be very different for a solo agent than they are for a team. Not meaning that they're doing anything wrong. It's they're doing it differently, right? So explain what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple ways to run it. And so how I run it, do you mind if I write it?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So how I run it is I created an LLC when I started that I ran all revenue, so all commission, including my own, and then anything the agents paid me went top line revenue minus minus cost of sale. So in real estate, our cost of sale is commission. So anything I pay the agents on my team, so like their split, it's going to be your KW fees, both the franchise and royalty. Then I would subtract expenses, and then I would get to a profit percentage. What I learned, because I wanted to scale as big as I do, is your revenue actually, I was cash rolling my team. So this profit number was kind of fake because I was paying myself a salary here for tax purposes, where now how I run it, so this is how I did it originally. Now how I run it is this same LLC still exists, but I opened LLC number 2. This is where all of the team splits, commission comes in for everyone's deal. And then they're paid the split, right? The cost of sale. So picture the same thing we were just talking about, but now I put myself on a cost of sales split where I actually pay myself. I pay myself a 50% split. And then once I subtract cost of sale expenses, that profit, in my opinion, is a true profit percentage. And here's the thing, anyone that runs it the way that I ran it before makes a ton of sense, except if you want an exit strategy or you ever want to sell your business. Because people forget this expense. They forget the expense of themselves as the business owner. So this then equals a true business percentage. Because if I wanted to stop selling real estate tomorrow, I would have to replace myself, which would still cost me that money. Does that make sense?
That's how you should do it.
I hesitate to say the word should because I don't think what I was doing before was wrong. But now that, I mean, our business did $1.5 million in revenue last year. So this now, when I report out and I say I want a profit percentage of 30% this year, that's after I've paid myself 50.
Then you can play with that. You can reinvest that. You could take additional income for yourself for that year, et cetera. But it's a true profit.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Now I forgot where we were.
reporting our goals.
Yes, reporting our goals. Those are the things that they're gonna report on. Let's start with Jacob down here.
All right, let's see, yearly goal.
Oh, also,
Dials.
when you say the goals, is this you personally or your team? Right? Because I think sometimes you're gonna hear numbers and you're gonna be like, oh, that's the whole team, or no, that's them personally. And then remember how they were making their lead gen, right? Because sphere versus cold calling are very different numbers a lot of times. So these are all things I want you to think about when they're going through their numbers, and then how you choose what your lead gen sources are. Does that make sense? Okay, go.
All right, so my personal yearly dial goal is 28,800. Personal contacts goal, 2,880. Personal appointments goal, 240. Personal contracts, 100, or no, team contracts, 109. Closed units for the team, 76. GCI for the team, 836,000. And then profit, 600,000. And I include my salary in that. So that's, I do that for tax purposes. So I'm including the salary I pay myself in that profit.
Awesome. Bethany.
Personal goal for dials is 15,000 for the year. Personal goal for contacts is 5,000 for the year. Personal goal for appointments, 75. Personal contract goal, 65. Team closed unit goal, 150 units. Team goal for revenue is just over 2 million, and then our goal is 30% profit.
Awesome.
We'll have Sherry go next.
He's like, pass. Dials for me, this is personal, not, doesn't include Jordan or anything like that. 1,500, contracts, 500, appointments, 25, contracts, 80, closed units, 50, company dollar GCI, 450.
It's you and Jordan, or just you?
For me, dial goal is 1,300 dials, 260 contacts, 52 appointments, 35 contracts, 25 closed units, GCI goal of 350, and a net profit of 290.
All righty, I've got the numbers, they're just not in this format here, but we're looking to do $2 million in BCI.
We're going completely the opposite
We're
way.
working in the opposite.
Okay, got it.
$2 million in BCI.
Wait, actually, let's just go back. Let's introduce yourself. Let's talk about what your team is. Let's talk about your number one lead gen source first, because
Yes.
you might have been a little late to the meeting.
Yes, super. Okay, so number one. I'm sorry, I had a doctor appointment for the kiddo. So, let's see. Okay, so the first question is.
You are, because nobody knows who you are.
I've been to Zurich, and we've got a team with Rachel, Courtney, Alex, and myself, so there's the four of us. We are looking to sell 158 homes this year, doing $2 million in BCI. Rachel is the buyer's specialist. Alex and I focus on listings, and Courtney's our director of operations. And that is, I'm looking to do 100 contacts on a weekly basis. So we're looking to do, in terms of appointments, I've got that, but I will maybe update that next week.
So as you can see, everybody's a work in progress, right, Beth?
Thank you. I appreciate the grace.
All right, I will go over mine as team leader. So 12,000 dials reach outs, 4,800 contacts, 480 appointments, 96 gross recruits. In regards to company dollar is what we base our profits off of, besides broker admin fees. So company dollar for the year would be 749,420. And our profit goal for the market center would be 175. Normally, we do not open this up for questions or whatnot during an ALC meeting. Usually we'll talk through where we're at goals wise and talk about other topics. Because it's January, I would love to open up the conversation, what you guys just heard, what questions that you have, just in regards to what that looks like as a business. So who has questions around that? And if you have questions on Zoom, just raise your hand. And then in here, we'll kind of field questions. Is that okay, ALC? Okay, Sean.
So with the dials, like I'm hearing like 1,500, 1,200, 1,300. 22,000, like Jacob had.
28,000.
28,000, sorry, Jacob. Like, and so the contacts, explain what a contact is and what the percentage is. Like I'm listening and it's like, sounds like 30% of the dials are contacts. Is that correct?
It depends on who you're calling. So like Jacob's numbers are 28,800 dials, but then his contacts is actually 10% because you're calling more cold people than you are your sphere of influence.
Where do you find your cold calls, Jacob? Because you always have a big ass number, but where are your cold calls kind of
I
found?
mean, I've bought a lot of lists over the years, over 10 years, so I've got a bunch in my database already. A lot of those are honestly are follow-up calls as well. But then you can just, wherever you can find circle prospecting lists. Just don't overthink it, right? Just buy the list and call it.
For some of us, like Sherry, I'm just looking at percentage wise. Sherry and myself, like our conversion's higher from, so dial is like you pick up the phone and you outbound dial someone. It counts whether they answer or not. Contact is they have answered the phone and you make a voice to voice contact. I'm trying to be better about tracking my contacts that aren't just on the phone too. Because there are a ton of people I'll have text message conversations with or Facebook message conversations with. And so being better about getting that to my virtual assistant so that she can log it for me. And then I can set like a follow-up plan. So it's going to depend on who you're reaching out to.
And here's the reality. A lot of people right now, they're like, I just don't like dialing. I don't really like calling people, blah, 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 blah. Right? Like, I know that is going on in all of your guys' head. And you're like, I'm more of a people person. Okay, well, here's the problem with being a people person is to be a people person, you need to talk to people, right? And you can't do that by not calling them or being in front of them, right? So I know that there are people like, I don't do my business like this, right? All of these people that are sitting up here who are incredibly successful make dials. Not all of them are cold dials, right? Some of them are their spheres. Some of them are follow-up calls. Some of them are to people that they found on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever it is. If you don't call people in some form, I don't care if you're younger and you want to text, cool. Make them text messages then. If that's the way that you communicate, switch dials to text. Okay, like it doesn't matter, but you have to do the work in the lead gen, right? So again, when we're asking those questions, you just have to make contact with a human being. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
No way around it.
There's no way around it. And I know that all of you are like, yeah, but what if I do a cool video? Someone's going to reach out. No, they're not. You're not that cool. No one's that cool. You still have to talk to them, right? Like, you're just not. Like, you can do those things to supplement it, right? But you still have to make contact with a human being. You have to. Yes, 2026 has not changed. I'm coming on strong. Just note that. All right, any other questions? I mean, because these are all different businesses. This is an option for you to ask whatever you want to ask.
I think you said it a while back, Jacob, we should put it on the wall. It was like, if you're not calling, or if you said, if you're not talking to how many people a day, you're not working that hard. And I forget the number you
If you're
said.
new in the business, I mean, 10 a day is.
I think 10 a day is very doable.
You've been in the business, but like if you're new and you can't talk to 10 people.
You're not working that hard.
You're not working.
Put on that's a wall quote.
Oh my gosh, he just said you should go on the wall. Okay.
Wall quote,
Let's
Jacob.
just calm down a little bit, Drew, okay?
I'm in.
Like, where should we put it?
One that said that I think we should do
Bethany's like, wait, what's my wall quote?
It's 9 to 10.
Maybe we start an ALT wall quote. All right, question in the back.
Yeah, so I know we asked the question of what's our best lead gen source right now currently, but my question is, what was your best lead gen source when you first started to create that sphere of influence that you have currently?
Great question.
I was on a team when I first started with some very successful team leaders, and they were handing me clients of theirs.
past clients, referrals, because they don't want to work buyers.
They were
I was
essentially
happy to work
giving
with
you
buyers.
whatever ones they did want.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was tough from the beginning, right? Like there was like, it wasn't like it was like, hey, spoon fed of like, here it is. It's usually like the tough clients are the ones they didn't want to work with.
Yep.
Bethany.
I would say two-part. One, I took bold before my license even came back from the state, and which made it interesting because I legally couldn't call certain people because you can't talk about certain topics until you're licensed. But I pulled everyone I could that I had ever met, like dentists, my parents, friends, and I just called them all. And I got a lot of, like, my parents got a lot of weird comments after, but I was 22 at the time and I just didn't care. And I also went to everything I was ever invited to, and I joined a networking group. So for me, it was about how did I build my database? And even today, I tell people all the time, like, social media is arguably one of my top lead gen sources, but not, to Kami's point, it's not because I make a cool video. It's social media built my database, and then the database built the business. So it's one thing to just go out and talk to people, but if you're not putting them somewhere that you're going to revisit them on a consistent basis, my sphere should hear from me every quarter at a minimum. Do they? No. And that's an opportunity that I'm really focused on this year.
When you say like they hear from you on a quarterly basis, are you including like monthly newsletters in that aspect?
It doesn't count if I didn't call them. Because think about this, people get tons of crap, like email, even, I don't know about you, but I have people that I haven't talked to since I was in elementary school that will still slide into my DMs and be like, you should try this new skincare line, right? Like, it's like, no thanks. But I mean, so much so we're bringing back the basics this year that our team is launching a quarterly networking group because that was such a big part of me building the business at the beginning. And I think that our database wants connection. I've had clients of mine meet each other. We've talked about this. You have the same thing. Our clients, we like our clients, most of them. And therefore, if they're similar, they're probably going to enjoy each other too. And they can become friends at our events and by us connecting them. So figure out how to like cultivate that in your database.
Let's see, we do, I mean, the main way we started was open houses. I was doing 4 every weekend, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
Talk about where were you located when you did those open houses?
At a different brokerage, you mean?
No.
No.
Location wise, like what state were you in?
I was in Minnesota. Oh, no, I was in the open houses were in Minnesota. I was. Oh, yeah, we don't sleep and but we are making it through. And I was going to Iowa State and licensed and doing open houses and showings, open house on the weekends, showings, you know, like a client that I reached out that I probably met at an open house that wanted to do a showing. I do it at 7 p.m. and they wouldn't know that I was driving up, 3 hours.
So lived in Iowa, did the opens and showings in Minnesota. That there was a reason I asked that question. We just had to take a second to get there.
Thank you for helping.
Gotcha, we got you there.
So lots of open houses. I mean, we worked so hard at the follow-up. I mean, whoever follows up the best is who's going to win them as a client. So, I mean, we were calling and texting them the same day as the open house, and you'd be surprised how many of those people didn't have realtors and actually wanted to buy that open house. So like I believe Alex's first house he sold was an open house for 1.2 million because he followed up from someone who came from the open house. Door knocking.
And you were like 19.
Right. Oh yeah. So anyone,
there's so many things that we have that we say, oh, we're too young. Oh, I can't do it. I'm too busy. Oh, I live in another flippin' state and I still can do it, right? Like we have all these things, but if you want it, no matter what level you're at, you can do it, right?
And our family and friends did not want to use us because they knew we were brand new into the business, right? So we were meeting people and showing them how educated we are on the market and hardworking we are so that they want to use us. And they're giving us the benefit of doubt that we've been in the business for longer than the 2 months that we had that. And then door knocking, lots of door knocking. We love rainy days, snowy days. We get inside a lot. We were listing homes from simply door knocking. Right, yeah, right, exactly. And so we essentially come in just sharing that, hey, we know this other house in the neighborhood sold for this, you know. Are you interested in selling? We know more people who want to buy in this area, you know. It can be simple, it can be short. But it's essentially building trust and having them like you and then building that
I
relationship.
think she's asking for your script, so like pretend I'm the homeowner.
Right.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Right, I mean, it's,
You're exiting the like role play here.
right. I know, you answered there. Hello, it's Ben Zurich with Keller Williams here. We recently sold a house in your neighborhood and there's more buyers that are looking for a similar property. Have you ever thought about selling?
You know, I mean, I've thought about it, but I didn't think it was something I'd want to do in the near future.
Super. Is there any chance you know of anyone in the community that might be interested in selling?
Maybe the neighbor down the street, actually.
Fantastic. Would it be possible? I'd love to keep you updated on what's going on in the neighborhood. Can I grab your email address and cell phone number and I'll keep you in the loop as to what's coming on the market?
Sure.
By the way, it's not always like that.
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
Well, he was
Thank you.
struggling to even just say
Yeah,
it.
I know. Give the
Thank you for-
benefit of the doubt. But I think what is part of that though, like, let's say that she is like, no. You can end it, quite honestly, by saying, hey, you know what? I just want to know a little bit more about the neighborhood. Because I think it's really important for my buyers that are coming into here. Just like, what's your favorite coffee shop? Can I take you out to coffee, for 30, 45 minutes? Most of them will be like, yes or no, right? Either way, you now like took down every wall of selling them something. You asked about their community. Like I used to say that all the time. And then by then they're like, you know what? I don't have time for coffee, but just send me an email. Right? So you're giving them something to reject differently than just the email. Like, just be a nice person and you're going to get the door slammed on you and you're going to be told things you don't want to be told and you move right along. You're like, cool, have a nice day. Happy New Year. Next. Right? Like, it is what it is.
How many doors did you knock? Oh, I would knock, I mean, in one time, you do 50 doors. And you get at least one lead. Oh, yeah. I mean, yes, you get at least one lead contact, a relationship to build. There will be people that will not open the door, that will shoo you away or slam the door in your face, but then you'll meet a couple of them that made all of that worth it.
It's kind of
The
fun
best
though.
way to do it, I think, is if you legitimately have a buyer and they are genuinely interested in that neighborhood or wherever they're looking, then you legitimately have a reason to knock on that door. Your client may have an interest in buying their property. I always had a lot more confidence when I had a solid buyer.
And again, you're gonna be like, I don't have a buyer. Guess what? We have 144 agents in here and we have a lot of buyers. And most of these people right here are not door knocking for their buyers anymore, right? So say, hey, do you have a buyer that I could door knock for? Would you guys be open to someone door knocking for a buyer that you have to try to find a house off market? Here's a lead gen source for anyone that wants to do that type of lead generation, right? Like, go ask for a buyer. Colleen.
Do most of the cities around here require that you have a solicitation thingy?
John, how many times did I? Some of them do,
How
yes.
important is it? That's what I'm asking.
Not very.
John, how important is it to get a solicitation name tag while door knocking?
Yeah. Well, I was just trying to get unmuted here. I'm old, If you don't knock on the door, you're never gonna get a lead. So get out there and do it.
And yes, you can get a solicitation badge. And the first time you get called out for it, I'm not saying you shouldn't have it because this is recorded. But the first time you do it, you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize that was a thing. I'll make sure that I go get one.
What is it?
And they're actually, some of the cities, I don't know all of them, they're not too expensive. And they
Minneapolis,
last
you need one. St. Louis Park, you need one. You might need one in Plymouth. Yeah.
Definitely certain neighborhoods gonna talk about.
Yeah.
If there's a handwritten sign that says no solicitors, don't go to the door.
Written. I was just gonna say, one of the way Colleen and I have done it when we have an open house in a neighborhood
You have a
We are inviting the neighbors to the open house
I do that.
and we door knock.
We're not soliciting.
We're not,
I
we're
was really
inviting.
just saying I wasn't soliciting anytime someone asked me that, so I was licensed, but I wouldn't go that way unless you're ready to fight to the death on that one, right, John?
Well, you can also leave a door hanger on it. Anyone that says don't solicit,
Yeah.
just attach something to the door and move on.
I'm not here
Here's
to,
the
I'm not
thing,
here to
if you
sell
are-
you something. I'm here to buy your house.
If you aren't getting some like slaps on the hand, you probably also aren't working hard enough, right? Like if you aren't getting the, don't send me that email, don't do this, do it all to code and don't keep doing it, right? Like ask for permission, like, however, I guarantee you're not contacting enough people. I mean, how many times have you guys gotten a don't contact me or don't call me or whatever?
How many times have I been investigated by the Department of Commerce?
Okay, well, that's a different thing. I mean, I could have, one of my door knockers put something in a US mailbox, which do not do unless you have a stamp on that, because that's actually a federal offense and it's a $10,000 fine.
You're talking about back here, but I brought my baby one time in the stroller. She was napping.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's napping, but I just wanted to give you this. And I handed out flyers in my neighborhood. And I actually got a lead from it too.
That is the best. That is how I actually built my business with my kids.
And I just said, it's better than sitting at home while she's napping. I might as well go for a walk, is what I said.
We're the same.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to talk. And then my kids had a door knock for Girl Scouts. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering how effective mailings are because I have a realtor friend who just retired 2 years ago, and she gave me a list of past clients, about between 60 and 100 of them, but none of them have phone. So I'm curious about, and she's willing to write a paragraph of introduction.
I would have her do that, and I would also take a picture of the two of you together and really make it sound like she retired and you're taking over.
So that I may have some success just mailing, as long as she's.
And then there are different services online where you can upload addresses and they will pull phone numbers and email addresses based on the address. You have to pay for it. We have a service called Land Voice where you can do that. So you search Land Voice. So you search the address and it'll pull up the email and phone number. But I would absolutely mail to those people, but make it as much of like a, she's sold you her book of business.
Okay. So just starting, first team meeting, and still trying to get on board with that. Just beginning to set goals, because the last 2 months. Useless.
We're excited. We're excited for you.
Sorry, I have like some questions, but 2026 might as well start strong. Jacob, you had mentioned several prospecting lists that you buy. Where do you get them from?
So Mojo has one, Land Voice has one. I think there's probably 100 others. Buy one.
You guys all seem like wonderful salespeople. Could you guys go over like your follow-up process? Like, are you guys, I know for me, I'll follow up multiple times, call, text, email. Do you guys briefly go over like your follow-up process when you guys get, after you get these leads?
I'll text, email, send them up on market reports in your system. Command has that, so you're sending them updates, right? Send them listings. It's powerful to text listings. Go find a standout listing, right? So now you're making an effort to actually find them a good listing, right? Hey, this fits you perfectly. Want to go check it out?
Well, and part of that, like the neighborhood nurture within our command system, you put their neighborhood on there, you can either send it out twice a month or it just automatically goes out to them on their neighborhood. You do nothing besides click a button and it sends out. You can send it once a month, you can send it twice a month. So that's one touch, right? Part of that as well as a reminder, like, hey, I need to call them once a quarter, right? So there's a whole in command, right? You can set up those 36 touches and it is text, phone call, and it will remind you as a task, right? Like, hey, today I need to call these people. You know, next week I need to text them this thing. And then if something comes up, right, you're like, oh, this was perfect for that buyer. I haven't talked to them in a while. Send that one and be like, hey, this reminded me of you. You know what I mean? It's constantly just keeping that kind of list of, hey, who's in the market, who's not. And then the other ones, you just kind of keep on a drip campaign. we have one more question and then we're gonna do, our vendor.
Real quick, I'm wondering if anybody might have any scripts or. that I-
Oh, yeah, we have a ton of them. Yeah.
I'll catch you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is a resource, right? These agents are opening up and being super vulnerable, quite honestly. Like today was great. They get to tell you their goals. Some of the other months might not be so awesome to come up here and be like, hey, I'm 50% down, or I haven't closed a deal yet, or I'm in the red and I'm actually negative, whatever, right? Those months are not awesome, but it's incredibly powerful to know how everybody does it. Yet they're the top 20% and they have bad months too, or they have bad days, or they have hiccups in their business, right? This is the reason that we do these things. So thank you for being vulnerable and being part of this. I know I'm really grateful and I'm guessing everybody else is. Do I hear a motion to end the January 2026 ALC meeting? Awesome. I am going to, let's give them a hand, actually. And then we're gonna have our vendor sponsor, and we also have food that they have provided.
Yeah. So real quick before I introduce our vendor spotlight for today, I do want to mention that our office has some tickets to the home and remodeling show that's happening the last weekend in January, January 30th through February 1st. So if you or your clients are interested, if you want to pick some up, you can send us an email and we can leave them in your mailbox for you. We have a limited amount, so keep that in mind as you're asking for them. But if you want to, you have a client, and you're like, oh, they're remodeling, this would be great. Let us know. We do have some free tickets for admission for the show. And then our vendor spotlight today. Thank you so much for kicking off our January for us. We have Cody, Alexander, and Phil here with Abra Kadabra, and I am going to let them come up and tell us a little bit about their company.
No, I was moving it actually. Going stand over here.
Good afternoon, guys. We appreciate you guys having us. So what we're gonna get into is like who we are, what we offer, what makes us different, how we can bring value to you guys, and then gonna be diving into ice dam removal, which is a big thing within the season right now of winter. So I'm Alexander. I'm our commercial account manager.
Like I'm the COO. And then I'm Cody. I'm a wildlife tech for our. And then I also run the ice dam.
Awesome. So, who we are is we're a family-owned business. We've been around for 20 years, second generational. We have 3 locations. Our main location's out of Mound, Minnesota, so right in your market. And then we have one in Northeast Minneapolis and one in Forest Lake, Excelsior. Sorry about that. Slide just threw me off a little bit. Yeah, we're more than just a pest control vendor. We are a peace of mind for homeowners and commercial business owners. So we offer pest control management, and then we also have our own in-house wildlife department, and that's a big part of what makes us different. So we offer pest management from mice, rodents to all of Minnesota's common insects. Then we also have our own in-house wildlife team that can fix up any soffits, that can do any repairs on the home, do the abatement process. So identifying the problem and fixing the problem, that's all done in-house here with us.
Yeah, I can take this. So what makes us different? Basically what we want to do is we kind of want to take over, not just protect your house during the summer and fall times, when you're getting all of the mice and, you guys see the box elder bugs every year and squirrels, raccoons, that's kind of like our main thing that we do during those warm months. But we're trying to be able to protect your house all year round, and that's going to be including ice dam and snow removal. It's a big topic that as I started this section of the company, talk to more clients and more people, it's just very unknown how much damage this stuff does to your house. And
Just to echo that, what makes us a lot different is that you have a reliable vendor for when you're selling, for instance, when you're listing a home, we can proactively inspect and identify where entry points are, or if there's insulation that needs to be fixed, or what is wrong with the home, so that we can, and then also help you guys fix that, so that brings more value to the home when you guys are listing it. Or when you have a buyer that is looking for a home that is protected or has history of any pest issues or any entry point issues, you have a reliable vendor that you can trust to get that job done and do it the right way. So how we could help you guys is, like I said, like I was saying, being able to do these pre-sale inspections, and being, like when you guys are listing a home, being able to identify the insulation, or if there's entry points in the soffit, or if it has history of any rodent issues or any pest issues, we can be that vendor to get those things taken care of before closing happens. And I know a lot of times, like, it's not a problem until it's time to close tomorrow, and then the inspection happened, and now the new buyer's like, no, we don't want to purchase this home until this thing is fixed. So what we want to do is partner with you guys to proactively identify these issues, so that when it is time to sell the home, those aren't even a problem for you or for the homeowner. So just adding more value to you guys, and being somebody that you guys can trust with the right way.
Is there a fee for, inspection?
So for inspection is $99. That $99 does go towards the estimate if you guys move forward, if they move forward with $1,000 worth of work or more. Most of the times when someone is selling, it's easy to fix this work because the buyer doesn't want to buy the home unless this problem is addressed. So when you guys are like in the inspection process, it's perfect to have us out there to identify any problems for the seller and for the buyer as well.
so yeah, so what are ice dams? What are they? Everybody sees them every
Anybody
year.
Does anybody know what ice dam
How do
is?
you identify one?
Yeah, so basically, have you guys just been outside in the winter and you see big old icicles, maybe ice sticking up out of a gutter? That's gonna be your ice damming. You're gonna see it on 90% of homes. Big causes for those, from the research that I've done and the ones that I have completed, it's an insulation problem. Those insulation problems happen, a lot of the time it's mice activity. Mice, they like to burrow in to your insulation, and they will make these draft holes in your insulation, and you'll slip all that air that you're trying to keep inside your house is it's melting all of the snow, and it's getting released on your roof, and all of that snow is slowly melting down and building up onto your gutters. And what the big concern about that is, you're like, oh, well, it will melt away in like a week. It's about to be 30s, 40s, whatever. Like, just like today, like it's raining outside. Everything's going to be melting. And as a company, we want to be able to prevent that. So we want to get there before it melts, basically, because what ice dams are, water's heavy, right? Like you guys picked up like a 5-gallon bucket of water. Now imagine that just frozen on top of your roof around the whole section, around the whole gutter line. You got thousands of pounds of ice, stuff that's not supposed to be there on your roof, and it's also going to be getting into cracks, into your fascia, into your soffits, which will eventually lead into your attic, into your walls, into your home, mold growth, let alone a lot of the wildlife work that I do, it's because of this. It's because your soffits are melted. It's because your fascias are rotted, not melted. I hope they're not melting. That would be really bad. But no, it's like almost every single one of my wildlife jobs that I'm going to, whether it's mice, raccoons, possums, flying squirrels, regular squirrels, you name it, they're attacking these areas. And these areas are happening because of this problem. So yeah, that was basically, that last slide was basically what I was talking about. You get the ice dams, they ruin your house. So you got your insulation heating up the house, heating up the roof, which is melting the snow, which gives you water damage. That's where that wildlife comes into. You know, and not just wildlife as well, like pests are gonna also find that, you know, insects, and whatnot, ants, you name it, that's their job. They're stinging insects, yeah, you name it, they're gonna find that hole, whether you know it's there or not.
And you guys might ask, like, why does this matter being a realtor? Because like a home, wouldn't you guys say is like somebody's most valuable asset? So like these things, like you see an ice dam and it just seems like an icicle on the home, but that is something that's causing structural damage and causing this person to pay more in like energy bills, and then ultimately that is going to affect their insulation, which is going to have harmful things in it, and ultimately cost them more money in the long run. And what we want to do is proactively identify these issues before they even become an ice dam. But being that we are in the winter, and a lot of homeowners are dealing with ice dams at this moment, we want to get rid of them before they cause more damage onto the home, and then identify where these entry points are and what's causing damage in the insulation and get that fixed for them.
Yeah, and like I said, the knowledge on this topic is very little with homeowners. I lost my train of thought. But yeah.
Just for time's sake, anyone that's on, not you guys can keep going. It is 11:10. I just know that we always just making sure you're aware of timing if you guys have another appointment. But go on, and if there's any questions and whatnot, also have lunch in the back. I just want to make sure people knew what time it was, if that's okay.
You have some brochures and stuff that you can leave back here, some cards and things like that you can leave by the lunch so people can grab it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so, and like our goal, for these, for the winter stuff is we want it to be preventative. We don't want to have to come out to a client's house and ice dam their house for 6+ hours and charge them 25. You know, we want to be able to try to keep it under that $1,000 and keep it preventative. So you're not calling us with an emergency, you know, hey, I got water running down my wall, you know, I got mold building up in my ceilings, you know, you name it, bathroom fans, like, it just goes on and on. So, what we have set up is kind of a snow removal, removal program. Basically, 3 times a year we'll come out, and we'll remove the snow off your house. About 6 feet up is all you need. Near the valleys as well, valleys and skylights, any stack pipes. That's going to be melting the house or be melting the snow on the roof, and causing those ice dams. So.
Those are the parts of the roof line for the insulation bath. I've had an awful ice dam, and when
Yeah.
you say $2,500, I finished a flip, and then I got an ice dam, and then I had to pay someone I just found online to come out, and what you literally do is melt it.
Yeah.
So you're
yeah.
standing there, they're out in the cold, melting this crap off, and insurance did not cover
Yeah,
any of it.
a lot of the
So-
times insurance won't cover you for it.
Yeah, it's painful.
You know, so our belief is, you know, we'd rather have the $1,000 that it is upfront rather than paying the whatever your deductible is, you know, or spending, you know, well, you got to think if the ice dam's that bad, you're going to have damage to your house, so you're going to be spending more upwards of $10,000 instead of just paying us upfront $1,000, then you never have to worry about it. Take care of everything.
And before we even get to that point, what we want to really do is partner with you guys to identify these issues proactively by having these home inspections done like in the selling process. Or, okay, let's say it's just your home now, like we want to get out there and identify this in the summer, but now that it's winter, we still want to do this now so that we can budget this into the future. So that it's not like just one big expense, an overwhelming thing where somebody doesn't want to take care of it because it's just overwhelming for them. So what we're really trying to do is identify issues before they become a big problem. That's why we have teams of experts that are able to get up into the attic space, check the roof line, check from the highest point to the lowest point, and fix these issues before they become a problem. And if it is a problem, we can also help you guys get rid of these ice dams and identify where the installation is having issues, get that fixed so that it doesn't problem in the future.
I mean, it's typically a symptom. Already pointing out, sure. Like you mentioned, the insulation levels are low, or there's tunnels in it. Like, we specialize in handling all that stuff, so we know best steps to prevent ice dams occurring. A lot of that is from regular pest control services and our service structure. In long term will help prevent these ice dams occurring. Proactive in the whole spectrum of wildlife.
Are there signs, like, so let's say we had an inspection in the summertime, can you kind of identify areas where they might have an ice dam? No, it's not winter time, obviously not gonna be able to see it. There's signs that you guys can look for that would indicate there might be
Lower insulation levels, like all of the recommended depth of insulation in the attic based on the type of insulation up there. That's gonna be a leading indicator for us. And we're seeing rodent activity. That's gonna be an indicator that they're likely gonna deal with this.
Another big thing you can tell is you just like look on the house, like I was earlier, stack pipes, skylights, every single skylight I see is just not properly sealed. So it's leaking all of that air, that ice, just that drain. And yeah, it's very easy.
Okay, do you guys have any questions for us or anything we can answer for you guys?
Yes, yeah.
Big purple.
Ask that regularly.
Yeah.
Carbon that's pretty bright.
So if we see big icicles, we should just call you.
100%. Yeah.
Perfect.
On the preventative side of things, if you do see that the inflation is low, what would it ballpark cost you?
Depends on square footage of your attic, for sure. It also depends if you're gonna want, if it's just gonna be a blow-in, or if we need to, have it remediated, saying you're having a lot of, mouse problems, all the scat that's gonna be in there. A lot of the diseases that people catch from, animals are gonna be from their scat. From those spores getting up into the air, and kind of leaking down in your house. We want to take care of those things. So, price wise, the remediation is going to be about twice as much as.
Between like 450 square foot and 650 square foot roughly. Depending on that.
Yeah.
So you guys blowing insulation and do you guys do abatement if you have like, what's that, asbestos?
We don't handle asbestos stuff.
Okay. She won't go up there if it's got asbestos.
So if we see that as even an indicator of asbestos, we'll get it right out of there. I recommend that it gets tested before we, before we do.
Then like a lot of the insulation work we do is for bats as well. Do a lot of back water cleanup. It's gonna be the most grossest scat you're gonna deal with. They carry the most diseases. You know, so that's definitely something you need to take care of. All kinds of diseases.
Basically, any wildlife issue, or any pest issue, we can handle that. We just want to partner with you guys to bring value to your sellers and to your homeowners, to be a, reliable team that not only does pest management, but also does wildlife prevention as well, so that you don't have to even but if that is an issue, we take care of that as well. So, we do mice and rodents and all of Minnesota's common insects like bees, wasps, and spiders. Then we also do, raccoons, squirrels, bats, the entry points, the abatement process. So
Would you guys be able to provide some sort of marketing or education that the agents could share either in social media or in their newsletters?
we have a flyer actually that I'm going to send to you that we're happy to send to all of you guys after this.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate it. You and Nathan once, Lydia, by a big today?
Yep, I do.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't even.